Welcome back to the Elias Macko Show. Peter Mamas, founder and CEO of Foodtastic, has grown his Canadian restaurant empire from zero to over $1 billion in sales in less than 10 years. Well-known brands like Freshie, Second Cup, Milestones under the Foodtastic belt. Mamas reshaping the quick service food industry. And he joins us on the line now. Peter, welcome back to the program.
Oh, thank you for having me, Elias.
When you started all this up, when you started up Foodtastic, in your wildest dreams, were you reaching where you've reached today?
In my wildest dreams, yes.
You really, huh? So I guess that's what sets people apart in the business world. Like you knew this is where you had to be.
Well, you said the wildest dreams. The wildest dreams, it means substantial growth. So we probably thought we'd be at 500-600 million by now. But yeah, we've done a little bit better than we expected.
What was the key to that growth? How did you get the whole empire up to the $1 billion so quickly?
Well, we were kind of lucky because we started Nichols in 1990, and then we had Baton Rouge, and we grew that to over 100 million. We sold those brands in 2007, and when we started Foodtastic, we already knew what we had to do, right? So I think it was kind of easier, and we were able to grow it a lot quicker. But the truth is, it's hard work. It's great brands, great locations, and people above all. I guess that's the main points. Yeah,
I got to ask you because you mentioned Nichols and Baton Rouge, and those are chains people love. You sold those chains. So why? I mean, what's the question? Because did you feel like you could get a lot of value out of them? Or take me to those business decisions, because I guess it's a long path to get to where you've gotten to.
Yeah, I think so. Basically, the big one back then was actually Baton Rouge. That was the larger chain, and truthfully, we got an offer we couldn't refuse. So we took it. Nichols, we bought it. Foodtastic bought it back in 2018. So it was the original one that started it all. There's a lot of sentimental value there. So, Foodtastic took it over, and we've actually grown it a little bit. And it's a great brand. It's doing really well, actually.
What are the challenges that you face right now?
Right now? Building stuff when you're first starting, we were three partners, and we used to do everything, right? We used to, make the menus, pick the sites, do the marketing ourselves. Getting at this size is you have to trust your structure and your people. So, you got to let go, and you got to realize that, some mistakes are going to be done along the way, but you got to learn to change from hands-on to more of a mentor-teacher kind of attitude and put in that proper structure. And I think a lot of people, when they start getting big, they underinvest in structure and people. And I think that's the biggest fallback.
We're chatting with Peter Mamas, the CEO of Foodtastic. Peter, let me ask you about the mistakes. A lot of years in business. So what are the mistakes you look back on and say, I wish I did that differently?
I think the biggest mistakes is doing things for the wrong reasons. So, in the early 90s and in the 1990s and 2000s, we were really young, and we had a lot of growing pains in the sense that, we would sometimes do things for the wrong reasons. We would, take sites that we thought were, must-have sites, but, the economics didn't make sense, or we would put, people into restaurants that just had money instead of, trying to really find the right people to do that. So I think in the beginning, you're kind of driven by necessity, whereas Foodtastic, we were already established, well off, and we built this company on the right reasons. We went to the right sites, we went with the right franchisees, we did the right brands, and we spent the money that we needed to spend in structure and people and technology. So I think when you start doing things for all the right reasons and making the great decisions, that's when you see exponential growth.
What do people want right now when it comes to a restaurant or a cup of coffee? What are the trends you're seeing from Canadians right now?
Yeah, so they want value. They want a great product at a reasonable price, which is not always easy in today's inflationary and tariff market. But we we really strive in providing the best customer experience, service, food at a reasonable price.
Have you had to make any changes of late? Because you brought up the tariffs, right? And all and the inflationary environment we're in. Have you had to make any changes of late?
Well, of late, in early January when that all started, we reviewed all our products, and honestly, we diminished the amount of stuff we were buying from the States, and we sourced a lot more locally here in Canada. And we were kind of surprised, when you're really looking to find stuff, you can. And our team did a great job of doing that. Lately, the biggest issue right now is probably the price of beef. That's gone through the roof. So, and, when you make your menus in January and you put your steak on whatever at, $45, you can't come in June and change it to $55 because steaks went up 30%. So you got to kind of, assume all that extra cost.
Yeah, and some of your brands are heavily reliant on beef, right? Beef is big business for restaurants.
Oh, for sure. Well, we own La Belle La Boeuf. It's even in the name, right? So, but for sure, stuff like Milestones with steaks and ribs, they're a bit constrained. But you know what? In the end, we do what we do. We're not raising our prices. We're giving the value to the customers, and I'm sure those customers will support us in the fall and winter months as well.
What's growth for Foodtastic going forward? Is it buying up more chains, or is it expanding from within?
Yeah, so we try to grow about 10% organically every year, which I think is more than anybody else is currently doing out there. On the other side, we're continuing to do a lot of M&A, and actually in the last week we've decided to even pursue opportunities south of the border or even across the pond to Europe. So we're going to start opening up our views on more brands outside of Canada.
Peter, listen, where you've the heights you've reached in business. When do you end up on Dragon's Den? When are they going to start say, "Hey, come on the Dragon's Den. We want you to be a dragon"? Is that going to happen, Peter?
No, I'm kind of the shy guy, so I'm not crazy about doing interviews like this, to be honest. But I do them because you're actually a good friend. So I would not do something like that.
Well, Peter, listen, thanks for letting me know that we're special here, that we got this interview because we've got some sort of connection here, because I did not know that, to be honest. And I actually thought Peter wants to do interviews now, and your team had reached out. And I thought, you know what? He wants to get more involved in media, because I thought that those Dragon's Den producers were going to come calling, and you need to get prepared for that.
No, I'm not ready for that.
Okay, all right.
I mean, it's important that we let people know about Foodtastic, so that if they have great brands, they could call us, and we're always looking to buy. So we can't buy anything if people don't call us. Okay. So in that sense, yes, it's great for us.
Good to know. Good to know. Hey, Peter, listen, completely unrelated. I just want to ask you one thing to wrap up here, because our next segment is about how much a haircut should cost, and I'm putting you on the spot. But how does someone like you pay for a haircut?
I pay $35. I don't know how that compares to anything else.
Okay.
But,
tax in, tip in, everything included?
No. I leave $5 tips, so it goes $40.
$40.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think you're right in that sweet spot, Peter. But we're going to find out next just how much our listeners are paying for haircuts. Thanks.
All right. You know what? I'm going to continue listening because I'm curious.
Awesome. Peter, be well. Thanks for joining our listeners this morning.
Thank you.
That's Peter Mamas, the CEO of Foodtastic.